that's where they expect to actually make a lot of their profit, is on their beverage program. But they're fortunate in a way, because the wine industry right now is extremely dynamic. There's an immense amount of absolutely terrific wine available. In New York City in particular, we're blessed with a lot of really great distributors that carry some terrific wines. So
and you brought some for us to sample,
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Anytime. Their choice is difficult only in that they have to make a choice through so many different options. Really.
Tell us about some of the hot wines that are happening right now during this holiday season. Of course, New Year's Eve.
Right. Well, of course, holiday season, you should never be without bubbles. And I know people think that champagne and bubbles in general only for special occasions, but I think all of us in the wine industry and in restaurants and
those of us right here as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Are a huge fan of bubbles and want to drink bubbles all the time. So you can find great bubbles at a entry-level price point, under $20, and you can find champagnes that go as high as $500 a bottle that are all
What did you bring
terrific.
here?
I brought Champagne Lallier, which is a company that we work with. They're a lovely winery based in Ailly in the Champagne region. It's actually a terrific value. It's their house blend. It's 100% Grand Cru fruit, and just a terrific bottle of wine. Every time I open it for somebody, they are really surprised at the amount of quality and don't expect it to actually be so inexpensive.
Do the restaurants you work with find that consumers, maybe here in New York or elsewhere for that matter, are getting more adventurous, that they don't walk into a steakhouse and just, as a matter of reflex, order the biggest, boldest California cab they can find?
I think there's certainly, an increasing awareness on the part of the consumer, and people are definitely getting more adventurous.
Like this would be a great choice to go with the steak.
Well, this would certainly be a great choice to go with the steak. And unfortunately, I always hear at steakhouses that they have a hard time selling anything other than California wines. But, eventually people are going to start to get even more adventurous than they are now. Brunello would be outstanding. Barolo would be amazing at a steakhouse. And also something from, California is always great. Maybe you could break out from the Napa cab.
You mentioned some of the margins that these restaurants are making on wine. How much is too much to pay for a glass of wine when it gets into the $20 range?
Well, actually, something really interesting that's going on, particularly in the city and some of the better restaurants, is they're actually being very adventurous with what they propose by the glass, and they are proposing things that are more that are around $20 a glass, but they're actually wines that are worth $20 a glass. They're wines that you would spend, $80 or $90 for the bottle off of the list for, and instead they're giving you an opportunity to try it by the glass, see how you feel about it, try a few different things during your dinner. But I encourage anybody who goes to a nice restaurant that sees something like that on the list to give it a try, because it's a great opportunity to try something and not invest in a whole bottle.
If you're a customer, you're perusing a wine list, where should your eyes gravitate? Where do you think there's real value and more importantly, taste to be had that people haven't experienced yet?
Well, I certainly think you should try something that you haven't heard of before, because there's a plethora of really interesting, different kind of wines out there, and don't always go for what you know. And again, also, if you're in a good restaurant, rely on your sommelier. These are people that spend a lot of time, working on their lists and learning about the wines that they have, and they're really happy to propose something that you haven't tried before. Thirdly, I would say that depending on the restaurant, depending on their price point, you can, in a trattoria kind of setting or bistro, you can find something in that $60 to $70 range that's going to be an excellent wine. When you're at a place a little higher end, maybe like Marea or A Voce, the $100 to $125 price point is going to offer you a great value.